The dream wedding finally came true. Quang and Linda walked hand in hand into the aisle under the glowing light of thousands of candles and the music that echoed like a blessing. Their faces lit up with joy, radiating happiness like sunlight after a storm. Down below, Quang's mother quietly wiped away her tears, her eyes shining with both joy and emotion, as if she had finally entrusted her heart, knowing her son had found his safe harbor. And yet, in that seemingly perfect moment, a silence lingered. Something left unsaid, a secret still locked away. Would this happiness truly last forever? Or is an unexpected twist waiting just ahead? That afternoon, the golden rays of the setting sun filtered through the trees, casting a warm glow over the narrow path leading to Linda's house. Quang walked slowly beside his mother. It wasn't the first time he had brought her to visit Linda, but today felt different. There was a quiet sense of anticipation in the air. Linda's bright smile made the scene even warmer. "Hello, Auntie. Please come in." "Both of you," she said softly, her voice respectful, yet filled with warmth. Her clear eyes sparkled with joy, though a hint of nervousness lingered. Quang's mother looked at her closely, her gentle smile carrying a deeper meaning. Inside the small living room, Quang's mother let her affectionate gaze rest on Linda before turning to her son. "I didn't come here today, just to visit." She began, her tone warm and sincere. "I also want to share something I've been thinking about for a long time." Quang lifted his head uneasy. Linda's hand trembled slightly. The room seemed to grow still as only her voice continued. "I see how well you and Quang fit together. Every time I watch the two of you talk, I feel a real connection, something rare and precious. If the two of you were to build a life together, it would be the greatest happiness of mine." Linda lowered her head, her cheeks blushing. Her heart raced, touched, and caught off guard. Quang glanced at his mother, then stole a quick look at Linda, his expression a mix of nervousness and joy. The conversation carried on in a calm, tender atmosphere. Quang's mother fondly recalled memories of his childhood and spoke of her wish to see him find peace and stability in life. Each word she spoke seemed to weave an image of a future home, one where Linda would be the partner walking beside him. As Linda listened, her emotions were tangled. She had long felt Quang's care, but she never expected his gentle mother to openly show such wholehearted acceptance. In her eyes, Linda saw the reflection of a kind-hearted mother-in-law, ready to embrace her with love. That visit no longer felt like an ordinary meeting. It was as if a door had been opened, a door leading to a new chapter, where hopes and promises of a dream wedding quietly began to take shape. After a while of cheerful conversation, Quang's mother smiled softly. She looked at her son, then gently turned to Linda. "Linda, I'd like to speak with you alone for a moment, if that's all right." Quang looked a little surprised, but quickly nodded. He stood up and stepped out into the backyard, leaving the two women in quiet. Linda felt nervous, her hands fidgeting on her lap, but she nodded in agreement. In that instant, the room seemed to slow down, the ticking of the clock echoing clearly. Quang's mother led Linda out to the porch, where the late afternoon sun cast its glow over the bright red bougainvillea. She sat on a wooden chair, her calloused but warm hands resting gently on Linda's. Her eyes met Linda's with deep trust and affection. "You know I've been watching you for a long time. In every gesture, every word, I see a kindness and sincerity that's rare. Quang has never been the type to open his heart easily, but since meeting you, he's changed. I truly believe only you can give him a complete home." Linda stayed quiet, her heart filling with emotions too strong to name. Quang's mother's words weren't just praise, they were a mother's affirmation, a heartfelt wish for her son's future. "I sincerely hope," she continued, her voice calm but firm, "that you'll walk with Quang on the road ahead. I'll take care of everything, from the engagement to the wedding. All that matters is whether you're willing. Will you be my daughter-in-law, Quang's wife?" Linda lifted her head, her eyes glistening with tears. In her mind, Quang's face appeared his gentle smile, his honest eyes the quiet care he always showed. She had loved him deeply for some time, but hearing his mother's words now made her feelings even stronger. "Auntie." Linda's voice trembled as her hand shook lightly. "I truly care for Quang. I never imagined you would think of me with such kindness. If I could be your daughter-in-law, Quang's wife, it would be the greatest happiness of my life." A radiant smile spread across Quang's mother's face, warm like the morning sun. She squeezed Linda's hand gently, her eyes shining with contentment. "Good, my dear. Now I feel at peace. Let's build this love together. I'll always be here to support you and bless you both." In that moment, Linda felt a deep warmth, as if embraced by a mother's arms. Her worries about the future faded, replaced by a newfound certainty. She nodded softly, realizing that from this very moment, her love with Quang had taken an important turn. What once was a simple romance now carried wings, the wings of family. Linda lowered her head slightly, her face still carrying a trace of shyness. Quang's mother sat down calmly, her gentle eyes unable to hide the joy within. The atmosphere felt lighter now, wrapped in the warmth of acceptance and affection. With a playful tone, she said, "The two of you sitting so close, it warms my heart just to see it. Quang, what do you think of Linda? Do you feel she's right for you?" Quang stiffened for a moment, his cheeks instantly flushing red. He gave a sheepish smile, scratching the back of his neck. Linda tilted her head slightly, biting her lip to hide a shy smile. "Mom? You always tease me." Quang mumbled, his voice laced with embarrassment. Her laughter rang out bright and genuine. Linda joined in her clear, sweet laughter, filling the room and making the space feel even more alive. Quang's mother looked at them both, her eyes shining with satisfaction. Their conversation flowed easily, sometimes recalling Quang's childhood memories, sometimes sharing simple dreams for the future. And with a gentle touch, his mother steered the topic toward marriage. "I believe that if you truly love each other, there's no reason to wait. A wedding isn't just a formality, it's a day for everyone to witness and bless your love." Linda's heart skipped a beat. She lowered her gaze, her hands nervously twisting the edge of her shirt. Quang looked at his mother, then at Linda, his eyes gradually firming with resolve. I feel the same way as you, Mom," he said slowly, his voice steady. Linda lifted her head, meeting Quang's direct gaze. In that moment, they seemed to forget anyone else was there. Their eyes locked, carrying all the unspoken feelings that had long been waiting to surface. Quang's mother smiled softly, her heart swelling with joy. She knew that right then, their hearts had truly begun to beat as one. The laughter, the playful teasing, and the shy glances, all of it revealed a love that was growing stronger, ready to bloom. Time passed quickly in the midst of their cheerful voices. Outside, the sun dipped lower, golden light streaming through the window and bathing the room in warmth. Inside that little home, it felt as though a new family was being woven together from threads of understanding and love. When Quang's mother finally stood up, both he and Linda hesitated, reluctant to let the moment end. But she waved her hand lightly, her smile radiant. "My heart is full. I believe your dream wedding isn't far away now." Linda and Quang both laughed their shy chuckles, mingling with the happiness that filled the air. After a while of talking, Quang's mother stood up. She looked at Linda with warmth, gently holding her hand as if making a promise, then turned to her son with trusting eyes. "You two stay and talk. I'll head home before it gets dark," she said. With a smile, gentle but full of tact, Linda quickly rose to walk her to the door. Quang followed, steadying his mother down the steps. Before leaving, she turned back one last time, her warm smile still on her face. She knew that from this moment on, the rest should be left for the young couple to right themselves. Back inside, Linda's heart was still racing, her breath not yet steady after Quang's mother's words. Quang sat quietly, his eyes fixed on her, as if he wanted to memorize every detail of the moment. She sat down beside him, close enough that just a small movement would bring their hands together. The air carried a hint of shyness, but also a tenderness hard to put into words. "Your mom really cares for me that much?" Linda whispered, her voice still unsure. Quang smiled, his eyes bright. "I don't know exactly what she said, but when I looked at her eyes, I understood. She trusts you, and she wants me to be happy. You're that happiness." Linda lowered her head, a shy smile spreading across her lips. She didn't reply, but her hand shifted closer until it brushed against his. Warmth spread instantly, like a gentle current running through them, both making them tremble softly. Outside, the sunset painted the sky a glowing red, like a dreamlike backdrop for this special evening. In the small room, Linda and Quang sat side by side, quietly imagining their big day. They saw themselves in wedding attire, Quang holding her hand tightly as they walked down the aisle, surrounded by applause and blessings. They could hear the laughter, the music, and even the happy tears of his mother in the front row. Linda pictured herself in a pure white dress, smiling brightly as she exchanged vows with the man she loved. "I think," Quang said softly, breaking the silence, "our wedding doesn't need to be extravagant. As long as we have Mom, our family, and the people who truly love us, that's enough." Linda nodded, her eyes shining. "That's all I want too. The most important thing is that we have each other right." They looked at one another and smiled. In that moment, they both knew the dream of a joyful wedding was no longer distant. It was right in front of them, built on his mother's trust, their strong bond, and faith in a bright future. From outside, the breeze carried in the scent of bougainvillea, like nature's quiet blessing. Linda rested her head on Quang's shoulder, and he tightened his grip on her hand, silently vowing that no matter what storms might come, they would walk the road together until the end.